A simply dominant performance this evening from the Colorado Avalanche, a 6-2 dismantling of the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. And it wasn't just the Nathan MacKinnon show. It wasn't just the Cale Makar show tonight. It was all hands on deck. Mackenzie Blackwood gets the start. Sure, he gives up a Mackie Semiskevich goal late in the third period for his second, but this thing could have been 10-1. The Avs took the gas, or rather the foot off the gas in the second half of the third period. They put 20 shots against Florida in the first. They get goals from Gavin Brindley, who's back in the lineup, assists from Brent Burns, a beautiful goal from Nathan MacKinnon, one that gets called off for Marty Necas on the power play of all things. But this was as complete a win as the Avs have had all season, Spring.
Tonight was also the definition of a scheduled loss. That's what that was for the Florida Panthers. They played in Utah last night, won 4-3. Game was actually tied at 3 until late in the third period, and Florida scored the game winner. I think they've won like 3 in a row. Had Florida. Yeah, they'd won 3 in a row. After, and it still hasn't been a great start to the season for them. Play last night, high effort game, tied late at elevation against a very solid team. Now you got to come to Colorado and play the best team in the league, and you don't have Matthew Tkachuk and Sasha Barkov. That's as scheduled loss as scheduled losses can schedule loss. That's what that was.
You're not wrong. Florida is a very injured team this year. What you saw tonight out of the Panthers is not what you saw in the last 2 Stanley Cup finals. As Spring mentioned, their captain Alexander Barkov is out with that ACL, MCL injury for the remainder of the season. They were talking on the ESPN broadcast Ferraro about if they get Barkov back, they're not getting Barkov back this year. They will get Matthew Tkachuk back at some point, but it's going to take him a while to get back from that shoulder injury that he sustained in the Four Nations tournament last year and then played through in the playoffs. It's not the same Panthers team. So while I say they dismantled the back-to-back Stanley Cup champs, it is a little facetious. That is not the same team. If they don't get healthy, they will not make the playoffs. If they do, they will be like the most dangerous wild card in the history of the sport.
I think Nate said today, or someone said that the Tkachuk was skating. He might be back at practice. Yeah, there he is. He's skating. I don't know how, or is that just some sort of documentary? Road to the Winter Classic. Because I thought he was a little further way out. Yeah, they need him. And they need Barkov if they want to win a cup. And they're probably not going to have Barkov. And it's like, they're not going to have him. So, yeah. Avs are too good at home. They are coming off a loss in Nashville. They wanted to get right. It wasn't even close, man. It wasn't even close.
From the jump.
It was a laugher. I mean, Florida ties this game at 1. Okay. Not even close. Not even close. And you get Gavin Brindley back. And I think he's probably the story of the game, from his cleanup goal to the sauce pass out to Arturi Lehkonen.
What a pass, dude.
What a great
for him.
That was better than the goal. The pass was better than the goal.
100%. And the goal is so Gavin Brindley.
Yeah, it is.
Little dude goes to the net, out muscles opponents to get to that position, and on a bouncing puck finds a way to put it in. Like, that dude is a fucking nail gun. And I know I'm a little guy who likes little guy hockey players.
Sure.
If you don't like the way it is a soft spot in my heart. And I know that it pulls at my
I got my own soft spots. I get it.
I am so aware of who he is to me. If you don't appreciate the way he plays hockey and how effective he is at going into the hard areas of the game at his size and having it not matter at all, I don't know how you can watch the sport. Like the two areas that he makes the most difference are the defensive half wall and in front of the net. And for him to do that at my size is insanity.
Man, if that could have been you, Raj.
No, no, never.
You.
Because he has skill and he had work ethic, and those are two things that I will never have in my life in any walk
Uh-huh.
of my life.
Yeah, I mean, if you had him, he just he completes the lineup. He solidifies the lineup. I mean, largely healthy in the two losses on the road trip. Maybe not the Islanders game. That one kind of got away from him. But if they had Brindley on Tuesday night, maybe they win that game. Look, that's the way it goes. Guys get hurt, and you really want to be as complete as possible. And I mean, Gavin Brindley is turned and he's cheap as hell. And the little mini extension he signed, he first game back. I mean, for it to be an impact in his first game back,
Immediate impact against a big hockey team, against a big, long hockey team.
yeah, go buy your Gavin Brindley jerseys. Every defense, another game. This is the second time this season, at least. I think maybe just the second though, that every defenseman had a point. There was a game not too long ago where every defenseman had one assist, except tonight Malinsky had a goal and an assist, and Josh Manson had two assists. So again, 1 through 6, very good. I know we were talking about Sam Girard after the Nashville game and maybe adding a bigger left-handed shot D. Jamie Alexiak's name got brought up, but I thought Sam finally he had a moment, on the McKinnon goal where he fed McKinnon in the neutral zone, entering the offensive zone, and then he had a nice patient little swing play to McKinnon. So good offensive moment from Sam Girard.
Yeah, I do believe he was at fault for the other Florida goal, but I thought the play through the neutral
Oh,
zone
you
to get
mean
it back to,
you mean the goal that made it 6-2?
yeah, the one that
You
doesn't
mean the
matter.
goal where everybody didn't give a fuck?
Yes, that one. The equivalent to the Carlson field goal in the Vegas and
Yeah,
Broncos game.
that's what
Yeah, that one.
if you had Panthers plus 4.5 on the line if you had Avs minus 4.5 on the live line, fuck you, Sam Girard.
You're a sicko. You're a sicko if you have the Avs minus 4.5 against Florida. No, the neutral zone play from him is what Sam Girard is. Like he takes free ice when he has the puck and then he dishes it off. He does it very well. He doesn't defend very well. So you get the give and take of Sam Girard. He wasn't the story of the game. Gavin Brindley certainly was.
Of course.
Nathan
McKinnon shot from deep. I mean, posting in on the Girard pass. It's Nathan McKinnon continues to just what he's on pace for is unreal. And he had a great game. He didn't have to take over, but Nate was on his game tonight. You could tell his skating was excellent tonight.
He has to fall off the El Capitan cliff in order to not win the MVP this year. In our preseason show, Spring, when you and I went through MVPs and all of the voting, do you remember who I picked to win all of those awards? It was Connor McDavid. I just feel like it's going to be a McDavid sweep year. He's going to win the MVP. He's going to win the Hart, and there's a chance that he could win the Richard. The answer to all of that is no, because Nathan McKinnon's going to win all of them. And if the Avs go where we expect them to go, Nathan McKinnon is on pace for the most impressive single year, arguably in NHL history. Because if he keeps up this pace, the Avalanche will be one of, if not the best regular season team in history. He will win the Hart Trophy, the Art Ross, the Rocket Richard, and he'll have a chance to win a Conn Smythe. And that just simply doesn't happen in this sport.
Minus 210 to win the Hart. McDavid plus 280. And my prediction was it would be a two-man race. That it would be those two players neck and neck battling it out. Well, Nate's kind of running away with it. Now you never know. The Oilers beat the Red Wings tonight. I didn't look at I just saw the score. I don't know what Connor did tonight. But obviously Nate had the goal and Nate had an assist. And then to win the Rocket Richard, he's plus 135. Leon Dreisaitl's plus 500. Jason Robertson of the Stars is plus 550. For Nate to be plus 135 to win the Rocket Richard, and still hilarious that John Buccigross said he's not a playmaker, because that's really what he is. And he's never been like a guy that you've been like, oh, he's going to win the Rocket Richard. That's your Austin Matthews and your Leon Dreisaitl's of the world. And Nate might win that thing. He might lead the NHL in goal scoring, and he's a playmaker who racks up assists. Yeah, it's an unbelievable season that he's having.
Without a doubt, the only three players in NHL history that have won the Conn Smythe, the Art Ross, and the Hart Trophy in the same season are Bobby Orr in 1969-1970, Guy Lafleur with the Montreal Canadiens in 1976-77, and then obviously Wayne Gretzky did it in his time with the Edmonton Oilers in 84-85. Now, the Rocket Richard wasn't created as an award until the year 2000, so none of those guys would have won that award. I will very quickly look up who would have won the goal scoring title that year. I'm going to assume Orr did not lead the league in scoring in 1970. Lafleur would have had a chance. Gretzky probably did lead the league in scoring in 84-85. So we're talking about the greats of the greats. We're talking about the Mount Rushmore of hockey players that Nathan MacKinnon is on pace to join. Now, much of that is, can the Avalanche do it in the postseason? It should feel good that you beat Florida like this. It should not feel as though this is the stamp of approval that like they can do it now because of what we talked about at the beginning of the show.
They're the two-time defending champs, and yeah, they'd won 3 in a row, but before they won 3 in a row, they were at the bottom of the Atlantic, because and like if the Avs lost McKinnon and Makar, which I do think is a tick up from Tkachuk and Barkov, both great, excellent, like A players. But if the Avs lost McKinnon and Makar, you would see they'd be fighting for a wild card spot, just like Florida is fighting for a wild card spot. As great as the depth for Colorado is, as great as impressive and surprising as a Gavin Brindley has been, you know, Landeskog can't lead this team. He can be an integral, and he can lead it as, from a leadership perspective, but as far as being the best player, no, it's Nathan MacKinnon. It's Cale Makar. So yeah, anyone who knows anything knows that this Florida game tonight was not like, oh my God. Like if Tkachuk and Barkov are out there and you did this and they didn't play last night, then it is like, holy
Correct.
shit.
100%.
But that's not what this was.
Spring, a quick look into the time machine of the NHL. So those three players that I mentioned, the 3 seasons that players have won the Conn Smythe, the Art Ross, and the Hart Trophy. They were 1970, and I'll do the last year of that season. The 1970 season from Bobby Orr, the 1977 season from Guy Lafleur, and the 1985 season from Wayne Gretzky. The only player to have won all 3 of those awards and then lead the league in goal scoring, which would have been the Rocket Richard Trophy back in those days. Again, that trophy did not exist until the year 2000. It would have been the Wayne Gretzky season in 1985. Back in 1970, Phil Esposito, Bobby Orr's Boston Bruins teammate, led the league in goals. And then Guy Lafleur finished 4 goals short of the league lead in 1977. So we're talking about like Nikola Jokic and Wilt Chamberlain stuff here. We are talking about what we hope to be Nathan MacKinnon and Wayne Gretzky.
So the names you just mentioned, led by Wayne Gretzky, and a name that you didn't mention, and I'm not surprised. He never did this. Was Joe Sakic,
right?
Now you're like, this season that Nathan MacKinnon is having, and the conversation had been, and I think up until the last couple-ish years, it was, man, Joe's still the best in franchise history, right? We are legitimately entering the territory, like legitimately entering the territory where Nathan MacKinnon is the greatest player in franchise history on a night where the 96 Cup team, a lot of those those great players were in attendance, and obviously Joe's in attendance for most games, running this team with Chris McFarland. Um, and there's legends who have played for this team. And Nathan MacKinnon is if especially he's got to win a cup. He's got to win a second cup.
He has to win, right? The two cups that Joe has,
Yeah.
you have to confirm the cup in 2022-23 with another one, much like Joe did 5 years after his cup in 1996. The 1 year that Sakic won the MVP, he did finish second in points to Jaromir Jagr. He put up a ridiculous 64 assists and 54 goals in that season. So he was basically as complete a player as Nate is right now. The conversation deserves to be had. Nate still has a very long way to go to catch him. I think he'll eventually do it with where scoring is going these days. Joe did have to play through a little bit of a dead puck era in the 90s without a doubt. And then the league started to open up just a little bit. But he was on the wrong side of 30 at that point. McKinnon's probably going to catch him. And what he did tonight was catch him in franchise goals.
Yes, he
Or
did.
sorry, not franchise goals. It was
Avalanche goals. Yes. Not Nordiques. Yeah, no, Joe's numbers are insane. But with McKinnon, like this season gives him like even a little boost, He just kind of he's exponentially, like a little bit of an exponential increase in expected production. And he's gonna play for a long time. Like
right.
Ovi's still playing, McKinnon's going to play for a long time. The numbers are going to be there. I think when it's all said and done, he will pass Joe. And I think it's a great point you make about, the era that Joe played in and the dead puck era. That's a very astute points. But Nate's going to do it. And then now you got to get that second cup, and Nathan MacKinnon will go down as the greatest Av in franchise history. And you know who's not going to complain about that at all? Joe Sakic.
Without a doubt. Joe will be, much like Wayne has been so very happy to usher in and shepherd Ovi as the greatest goal scorer in the history of this game. Joe is going to be that guy for the Avalanche and for MacKinnon. Is he going to catch him on 625 goals? I think he catches him on everything, man. He is 600 points shy of passing him. He is 400 assists, and this is me just giving you like general numbers. He's around 400 assists from passing MacKinnon. He is around 250 goals from passing Joe Sakic is Nathan MacKinnon. He's gonna do it, dude. When you look back, he'll own every Avalanche record, and Joe will be there every step of the way, which is the really coolest thing in the world. Now, I think the interesting thing with Joe is that Joe is so consistent with his scoring. You look back at his career, he's got 102 points as a 20-year-old, 109 points as a 21-year-old, 105 points as a 23-year-old. MacKinnon had those very lean years to start his career, which is partly why the Avs were able to capitalize and win a cup, because he was on a sweetheart deal. But what Joe doesn't have is he doesn't have these MacKinnon seasons where he's going to put up 140.
Yeah.
There's not a single season in there. Like, I think the most points he ever put up was the 118 in which he won the Hart Trophy. MacKinnon's already got a 140 point season. He had 116 last year. He's on pace for like 145 this year. Like, Joe doesn't have that.
100%. And Nate's 30. Why does it feel like Nate's like 32? He's 30. He's
been in the league for 13 years.
He's 30, and he played right away essentially as the number one pick. He's still got 3 to 4, even 5 of those explosive years left. And then, Sid's still playing at a pretty good level at what, 37, 38 years old. Ovi's 40, whatever. He's going to play for another 10 years.
Yeah, Sid's gonna
And
put up like
3
100
to
points
5
this
of
year.
those are going to be seasons like we're maybe not. I mean, this is unbelievable, but they're going to be close. They're going to be close. They're going to be comparable to this season, last season. They're going to be in those MVP range, in that MVP range for the
Yeah,
next 3 to 5 years. Like, he's going to rack the points up and he's going to rack the goals up. I think that him to win the Rockets a great bet. 25 goals on the season. Number 2 in the league is Morgan Geekie.
there's no way Geeky keeps up the pace, right?
No. Draisaitl's down at 17, which is tied for 9th. Robertson is at 20, but
Robertson's not a 50 goal scorer.
no, he's not. And this Nathan McKinnon just has the marquee to him. Where and this is kind of one of those, you've seen him improve and he hits benchmarks that he's absolutely capable of hitting. Improving his faceoff numbers is something he's done. Now he's one of the better goal scorers in the league, and these are things that are in his blood, like things that he is capable of doing. I think him to win the Rocket, and there's a reason he's still plus money, but there's a separation from him and everybody else. It's a good bet at plus 135. It's a really good bet. I don't see Draisaitl's the guy who could get red hot, but I don't know. Edmonton's middling. It just feels like McKinnon's year all around. In every way, it feels like his year.
It does. And what normally goes against the Avalanche in terms of awards is, well, they're so damn good. Shouldn't they put up points? It's the reason why Jared Bednar hasn't won a Jack Adams, right? They're so damn good. Why would we give him the award? He should be one of the best teams, at the head of one of the best teams in the league, because they are so good and so deep and so talented. What the league does in historic team seasons, they'll give you the awards, man. They will look at historic team success and go, yeah, it makes sense. You had the MVP. He should get that award. It's that impressive. And I see this stupid comment from Guru. They're so damn good they can't get past round 2. The team that you love, those Dallas Stars, those mean, big, heavy Dallas Stars. Show me their ring. Show me the ring. And then let's have that conversation.
Well,
the Avalanche are not immune to having criticism for early outs. They're not. But they've done it. They've gotten there.
Yeah.
And I think you need to look back and just go, all of the teams. There's 3 teams that have won a cup since 2020. 3 of them, and you're one of them.
Yeah,
keep that in mind.
There were early exits. There was the Knights early exits.
Those big, mean Dallas Stars. Yeah,
and the Knights one was the one that was.
Those big, mean, talented Edmonton Oilers. They've been to 2 Stanley Cup Finals. Yeah, show me the ring.
Show me the ring. Beating the Lightning in that Cup Finals, no joke. That was, a Lightning team that had won 2 straight, with studs in their prime and a great goaltender. They got it done. Unlike Edmonton, the Stars, some of their core guys now weren't on that bubble Stanley Cup final that they went to, where they lost to the Lightning, but the Avs were able to beat them. And then we talked about the context of their exits since winning the Cup. Nichushkin. Last year you did run into just an excellent team who had home ice. It was
Dallas
what
is
it
a
was.
Great hockey team. They're a great hockey team. Show me the ring.
I know. And here's okay. And here we go with the Stars. You knew we were going to get to this tonight. They lost.
Hell yeah.
They finally fucking lost in Minnesota.
Love that.
They actually seemingly took a 3-1 lead. Then a goal was overturned. Minnesota tied it up, and then Minnesota scored 3 more. They ended up winning, I think, 5-2. When the Avs went to Minnesota, that thing was tightly contested, went to overtime. Dallas loses by 3. They get steamrolled in the third period. And also, I like this note from Steve Romero on Twitter. He hit us up, Raj. He said, the Stars haven't beat a single team in the top 10 in the league and only 2 in the top 15 in the months of November and the first 11 days of December. So I don't have their schedule up right now. I'll take Steve's word for it, benefiting from, and I know that this is an interesting league right now where it's a lot of okay, good, then a couple bad, and then 2 excellent in Colorado and Dallas. But, I'm assuming there hasn't been, Minnesota tonight is certainly a top 10 team in the league and they lose by 3. They apparently have not been playing the Vegases, who the Avs went in and beat not too long ago on Nevada Day. Teams of that nature, Anaheim, who the Avs destroyed. It appears Dallas has really been feasting off of the bottom half of the league over the past month and a half.
Yeah, their schedule doesn't get difficult until the second half of the season. Florida on Saturday might be that's a fun game to watch because Florida's going to have to respond to getting piss pounded tonight, and Dallas is going to respond to having a bad third period against Minnesota on the road. So that'll be a fun game to watch to see like who has the get right game, who has the response. Dallas should. Dallas is even though they're dealing with their own injuries, Dallas is the healthier of the two teams. LA, I don't believe in. San Jose, I don't believe in. Anaheim's legit. They're fun. Toronto's a dumpster fire. Chicago, I don't believe in. Buffalo, I don't believe in. Montreal's fun, but they're a better team than Montreal. And that gets you all the way to the new year in terms of who they have. Like Dallas is going to continue to win a lot of hockey games, man. They are. And it's not just because they're playing bad teams. It's because they are an excellent Stanley Cup worthy team playing bad teams.
And some of this has fluctuated. Like in mid-November when they beat Montreal pretty good, Montreal was better. Ottawa, when they beat them, Ottawa's kind of plummeted a little bit. Some of those teams were in the East, towards the top of the Atlantic, but nonetheless, and the Avs, look, there's just a clear delineation between Colorado, Dallas, and then it's Vegas. It's, I guess, Anaheim now, although they lost and they pulled an Avs and lost to the Islanders tonight. It's kind of actually really just Colorado and Dallas. And then Vegas is playing better. I don't know if I believe in Anaheim overall. Yeah, Vegas is playing better. They are now at the top of the Pacific. And Minnesota.
The West.
It's really those 4 teams.
The West is so good. It's ridiculous how good the West is.
It is good, but there's honestly only 4 teams that I'm like, you're better than the rest. And then Anaheim's that like borderline, maybe you're their team. And maybe Edmonton gets hot.
It's the reason
don't believe in the Kings. Don't believe in, I mean, you got the Blackhawks over 500. The Sharks over 500. And Colorado and Dallas are going to feast. They're going to feast most nights. Those teams are damn good. And Vegas is going to get it together. Vegas is going to be good.
Yeah, dismantled Florida tonight. They should continue to play some really good hockey. I expect them to continue to roll. I also think you're seeing the start of Mackenzie Blackwood plant his flag on the number 1. I would still ham and egg the goalies. I'd still go every other game, but I have this feeling, I don't know why, Blackwood's going to start to supplant himself and show that he is the higher ceiling of the 2 goalies. And I don't know. It's just a feeling. I can't quantify.
Oh yeah. No, and we've talked about it. He's going to be the starter game 1 of the playoffs, Mackenzie Blackwood. And maybe we do, and I wouldn't be surprised, certainly as the season rolls on, that you start seeing maybe 2 for every 3 starts go to Mackenzie. Let's see. Next up is Nashville. Hey, and here's another thing. I mean, this is an interesting score tonight. Nashville just absolutely piss pounded the St. Louis Blues 7-2. Now, St. Louis,
Renaissance man, Steven Stamkos, 4 Genos.
Yeah. Yes. that's an interesting result. And I know that St. Louis is down now at 11, 14, and 7, but like you look at their roster and it's still like it's a solid team that did make the playoffs last year. Yes, they've struggled this year, but my takeaway is so for Nashville to beat them 7-2. And then they beat Colorado the other night. Like that would like this kind of had letdown game maybe for Nashville. Like, oh, you outkicked your coverage, you beat Colorado. So we had talked about it. They'd won 5 of 7 after the Avs win. So now they've won 6 of 8. I'm like Nashville's actually like in a league where there's 2 or 3 really good teams that we just talked about. There's a lot of fluctuating solid, and right now Nashville's hot solid.
Yeah, with 2 games in hand, they are only 2.5 games back of the final wild card spot, and they have not been good this year.
So you look at the loss on Tuesday night, and it's like, okay, I mean, Nashville's hot solid. Like they're playing really well right now. And there are good, capable veterans on that team. It explains away. I'm not trying to make excuses. Don't get me wrong, but it does explain away because you're not going to win every single game. Certainly on the road, they haven't lost in regulation at home. But you're going to drop some on the road to some mid-level teams like the Islanders and the Predators who are playing better. It makes sense. So it wasn't like Tuesday night was like, oh my gosh, you lost to Nashville? No. Makes perfect sense. And now they're going to come here. And now they're going to come here. And you go get that win. And all's good. All's good in the world.
Yeah, plus 52 goal differential is a joke when you've only played 31 games. Is an absolute joke.
Literally double Dallas. Dallas is plus 26.
It is double Dallas. And Dallas has now fallen to third in the league. Washington, which I thought they outkicked their coverage the whole season last year. They have very clearly successfully retooled at the end of Alexander Ovechkin's career. And you know the reason why they were able to do this? It's because 2 of their biggest and best players just disappeared. Not from performing. 2 of their best and biggest players just disappeared from the league. And their most expensive players disappeared from the league. Evgeny Kuznetsov just left and went to the KHL. There goes his cap hit. And Nicholas Backstrom's back gave out on him. There goes his cap hit. So they were able to utilize that money and retool the roster and find themselves back to being arguably the best team in the Eastern Conference right now, while their friends, the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are still playing very well, never had that, it's funny, quote unquote, luxury of having a couple of their future Hall of Famers. And Kuznetsov isn't, and Backstrom is a quasi, is he like Hall of Very Good, but like Pittsburgh never had that benefit of losing a couple of guys and just having like cap relief out of nowhere. And that's the reason why the Penguins have kind of been playing with crap the last 3 years.
Yeah, no, Washington's a good team. Carolina's a good team as they are tied atop the Metro with 40 points apiece. And Tampa had a big win in New Jersey against the Jack Hughes' team, and the Bruins are out kicking their coverage. But the top of the East, it ain't the top of the West.
No, it certainly isn't.
Absolutely not.
Did you see the Tampa Bay Stadium Series jerseys?
I saw they were releasing them, but did not actually see them.
So they released them today. They will be playing a blue jersey versus a yellow Boston Bruins jersey with the little like sideways walking bear on them. Boston ruined the jerseys by putting white gloves with them. Tampa Bay, they're getting flack for like TBL in diagonal. But what I like about the Stadium Series is that they mess around a whole bunch with design, and they take chances. And inside the TBL is like a sublimated lightning thing. Yeah. And I
just looked at him, and that's the best part. Yes, is the lightning strike, but it's very subtle, kind of running through the blue that's on the TBL logo and the numbers on the back. Yeah, that's a good touch.
I think it looks dope. I think it's really cool. And it's a good You know what it shouldn't be? It shouldn't be a jersey that's used multiple times. It should be a jersey that's used in an environment that fosters like creativity and new and fun. And sometimes it flops. Sometimes it looks like what the Avs did at the Air Force Academy and is a complete disaster. But you got to try sometimes.
Where is okay, Raymond James Stadium
Tampa.
is in Tampa. Okay. That's fun. That's fine.
Yeah, there's a fake pirate ship out there. Fun.
Yeah. Maybe that ice will get a little hot and melty, but because it's in outdoors in Florida, it's very nice there. It's where
Speaking of Raymond James, the Buccaneers just blowing one to Atlanta tonight, and Kirk Cousins. What
you
has
know what I
happened?
was
I
thinking?
thought
Because
Kirk
I
Cousins
thought
was not good at prime time.
I was so basic. I was like, yeah, Tampa should win this game. Mike Evans is back. I know Tampa they just lost to the Saints, but overall, I'm a big Baker guy. But you know what dawned on me is it was kind of early. The Atlanta tied it at 7, and I was like, huh. Philip Rivers is back. What if this is just the week of the old guy? And Kirk Cousins, he's not as old as Philip Rivers, but he's kind of the old guy. Just a big old guy week. And Kirk Cousins said, "Don't forget about me." That's what tonight was. Kirk Cousins is a solid quarterback. He's not amazing, but he's had a solid career.
I really hope Philip Rivers plays this weekend.
It looks like he's
Like
going
so
to.
badly. Like so
Dude, it's
badly. I want to see a
they're going to be playing at the
44-year-old play
same time as
quarterback
the
in this league.
Broncos. But you better believe I'm going to want to see what is going on with that dude playing. It's an amazing story. I can't. Yeah, I've
It's
talked about it so
unbelievable.
much this week.
All right, Spring. It is past 1 a.m. here out in Baltimore, which means I need to go to sleep because I got Radio Row stuff going on out here for Army Navy in the morning. I need some snooze fest here, but the Avs win 6-2. Super fun. They're better than everyone in the world right now, and I hope that they're better than everyone in the world come April, May, and June. And all I can take is the data in front of me, and the data says they should be. So on Saturday, I expect to see them look at Nashville and say, "Hey, you had your fun at home. We're gonna smack you at Mile High."
You just get 2 points. I don't, even if it's a competitive game, it wouldn't surprise me because Nashville's playing well. But that should be 2 points. And Scott Wedgwood, I would assume, is starting. I would assume. Now, I actually do wonder. I mean, he got concussed, or at least was removed too late for a concussion alert, I'll call it. I don't know. I've been wondering what was going on with that. I haven't
Yeah,
seen
I
an
mean,
update.
he was able to play tonight, right? He was the backup, so
Sure.
therefore,
Good point. So then I would
what
assume that Reggie's starting.
right? What that tells me is he's healthy enough to play hockey, so
Yeah.
he's not in protocol.
Yeah, and it'll be his second game back from the back issue. So Rust was knocked off, or the Nust was rocked off, whatever. And he can go get his former team on Saturday night.
All right, Spring. Avs win. We'll talk to you guys on Saturday evening after the Avs take on the Nashville Predators as part of their little 2-game home stint. They win again. They're 12-0 into at home. They've got a stunning 51 points in 31 games. Nathan McKinnon leads everything. But for Spring, I'm Raj. Tune in tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Mosier Lombardi and Kane with Matt Smith filling in will be from 7 to 10. And then Coach and I live out here in Baltimore, Maryland for Army Navy. We'll be at Radio Row with a litany of guests for 2 hours. PhD from 12 to 3, Nate and Andy 3 to 6. Should be a really fun weekend of football and Avs and Nuggets. Nuggets also dismantled Sacramento tonight. So all things are pointing up in the Mile High City. Spring, I'll see you Saturday.